right, we have our other guest, Raghu Chaudhary, who I introduced a short while ago. He's joining us here. Raghu, we already started our discussion. This is with regards to people after a period of pandemic wanting to travel. What are the destinations, Raghu, that you are seeing with especially Indians are wanting to visit, especially as a revenge traveler? Are you able to hear me? All right. So while we get all our guests back here online, let me quickly take you through the issues that have been cropping up of late. Now, some of the destinations which had allowed or which were rather popular, in fact, initially for travel and tourism, many of them were out of bounds for people during the COVID-19 pandemic. Some of the places where the main was actually tourism, they opened up quite early, in fact, allowing people to come even during the COVID-19 pandemic. But people themselves were cautious about going to the airport, being in a flight, traveling to a new place. All those aspects were something that were holding people back from traveling. But now, as people have realized that it is safe to travel and that 2 years was too long for them not to have gone anywhere, they are beginning to travel again. Raghu is back with us, Anish Kumar is back with us. Anish, I hope you hear us properly now. You were talking about the trending destinations for Indians. Take us through some of those.
So you're talking to me,
I was talking to Anish, but Raghu, you can go ahead.
Yeah, can you? I'm just connected, so can you please?
Raghu, I wanted to know the trending destinations for Indians in what we're now terming as revenge travel.
Adventure, yeah, post-pandemic, you see, like most of the earlier pre-pandemic people used to like to travel international most probably, even in small budgets also, like Thailand and Malaysia, Singapore, all the destinations. But post-pandemic, everybody would like to travel India, domestic sector. We have seen in May, June, like any destination like Kashmir or Himachal, all the destinations are packed. We are all witnessed, even flights also, even though flights from Mumbai to Kashmir, 50,000-60,000 also people, you are not getting the flights on this thing. So what I meant to say is the post-pandemic, actually the Indian destination, domestic sectors has boosted like anything. Even people like to spend in lakhs of rupees, where earlier people used to not spend even small amounts. Coming to international, yes, Dubai is always higher demand. Dubai and Singapore is now in peak since the F1 formula also is going on internationally. Maldives is always peak sector for Indian markets, and Europe, Central Asia, Eastern Europe, all these places boosted like anything. Everywhere is pack going on.
All right. Anish, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So Anish, Raghu just introduced us to some of the places that people are choosing to visit. He's saying the domestic sector has got a big boost, especially during the pandemic. But I want to ask you about some of the hurdles that people have faced in being able to travel over the past 2 years, and have those eased out now?
Yeah, exactly. Like, right now what we are seeing is in the domestic travel, there is no restrictions. So people are free to travel. Like there is no RT-PCR or any vaccine requirement. So people are very free to travel in domestic sectors. And moreover, in domestic sectors also, there is no problem with the airfares or flight availability. But what we are seeing is, being an inbound tour operator, what I see is, from foreign countries, it is very difficult to come to India because of the flight fare. Because pre-COVID, if someone is getting a flight fare of 1,000 euro for Europe to India, now it is like 1,500 euros, so it's very expensive. Like the aviation sector is still like they are not back to the normal stage. Like the flight availability is less, so the flight fares are very high. And moreover, as he said, what we are seeing is there are a lot of domestic requirements. Like I am also seeing that the domestic travelers, they would love to travel in luxury. Like they wanted to stay in luxury properties. They spend more than the pre-pandemic, and they want private pool villas. They want luxury cars for their sightseeing, and that is evident right now. So after the pandemic, what we are seeing is the tourism is moving to a kind of upmarket. Like they wanted to experience the luxury. So Indians, itself, after the pandemic, even the luxury honeymoons, they spend like anything. So now, as you said in the introduction, there is a revenge kind of travel actually witnessing. There are a lot of requests. Even I am being from Kerala. What I see is for these Mahanavami holidays, most of the hotels, houseboats, everything is fully packed. So people are moving like anything. It started with a regional travel. Now it is from intra-state travel. From other states to different states. They are all traveling. So yeah.
All right. Let me now go back to Raghu for a bit on some of the good destinations, Raghu, that travel consultants like you all are suggesting at the moment to people, which are easy to travel outside of India or within India as well. What are some of those trending destinations?
Yeah, friendly destinations, right now, honorable destination always suggestible. Honorable, and most of the even international, all the countries have removed the restriction. Recently, Singapore also has removed all the restriction, even not even any test. For international, we have a COVID vaccination certificate is enough anywhere across. Even coming back also, we have Indian government also removed so many, maximum 98% restrictions. So it's all friendly right now. Is as good as pre-pandemic we can travel right now, post-pandemic also. Mostly, I just come back from the Europe, Eastern Europe and Central Asian countries. I never seen people wearing, not even a single person wearing a mask or any kind of restrictions I saw over there actually. And it's all friendly destination. If we talk about Thailand, so for a family, Phuket, Krabi is the good option. Singapore is the good option. Malaysia is the good option. And for honeymooners or couples, there's Maldives at any time is the better destinations. And if it come to international, like Dubai is for families again very friendly option, Dubai. And now Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka.
Maldives. Many people were joking about it during the pandemic as well. I mean, it's a beautiful place, but it's almost become like the new Goa because we saw so many celebrities going there as well.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
do you
Yeah.
think that has helped Maldives as well to attract more people?
Maldives, yes. You cannot compare any other destinations like Maldives because Maldives is something different, like for couples or honeymooners or young generation or old generation or for kids. Even for kids, so generally people will say only is honeymoon destination. But I would like to say even for kids, young kids, you should travel to the Maldives. You put them on the water so that water phobia and all the activities, the kind of activity like submarines and the scuba diving, all the young kids. I always suggest like they will come out of that water phobia and other phobias. It will be the right time actually. So Maldives is for everyone's destination, if I like to say. Now after that, Sri Lanka, we have seen the people are worrying like to go to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a very beautiful destination. Today, just yesterday onwards, the Sri Lanka entire tourism department is in India to promoting. They're asking to come to Sri Lanka. They are promoting. Today they're in Delhi. Tomorrow they're coming to Mumbai and Hyderabad. So Sri Lanka is again a very beautiful and very friendly destination to go when it comes to international. And come to domestic, we say Kerala, as my friend is telling, like Kerala, we are not witnessed in last 10 years in this industry, like we're not getting a single houseboat also there, even at the peak season also. But the first time we are witnessing since last 3 to 4 months, we're not getting houseboats or hotels packed everywhere. Kerala is again the very friendly destination. Then coming to North, Kashmir is there, Uttarakhand is there, Himachal is always a beautiful destination. And now the summer has gone, so the summer and watery has all gone. The Rajasthan will be a beautiful place. So all Northeast again is a beautiful destination, very friendly destination. This Goa anytime destination,
Okay.
right?
Yes, let me go across to Anish. Anish, do you think many of these destinations have become even more popular because the traditional destinations that Indians wanted to visit, like Europe, for instance, those who could spend, also America, the visas are very hard to come by.
Yeah, exactly. For going to an international destinations, you have to wait for the visa. So it is pretty hard to get the visa. So I think the trend is like people wanted to reconnect with the nature. They were sitting idle at home, and now they want to reconnect. And the popular nature-based destinations like Kulu, Manali, or the mountains, hill stations. They are becoming very popular nowadays. So I think for the next 1 year, it will be the same. Like when you are getting not getting visas for international travel, it will take time. To get the outbound travel back to normal. So people will, they will be more like to travel within the country. So I'm seeing a lot of domestic travel, and there is a exponential travel within the country itself.
I think Raghu wants to make a point. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Mahat, that's your question. Somebody is traveling to Europe or US or Canada. These kind of we strongly suggest at least their plan their visa processing minimum 3 months earlier. Because what will happen nowadays, thousands of visa applications are pending to Europe or US. Because after pandemic, the students or say other visas, everybody is not getting slots itself. After getting the slots, also process is taking. Earlier, generally, it used to take 15 days. Now it is taking not even 40 days, 60 days also. The process. So if we are for a visa again, you have to book the air tickets and the hotel bookings and all those things. So your money will strike, and if you're booking all those things, please book for the 100% refundable options only. But we strongly suggest if you're planning this destination, at least minimum 3 months in advance, plan accordingly. So we'll get ample of time to take that kind of this thing also.
But Raghu, would you say people have also lost out on money if they have?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yes. People are lost out for some of the embassies right now. They have removed this condition, uh, hotel booking and airline booking. Some of the embassies they removed, and only tentative this thing you have to submit, but not all the embassies. Okay, for Schengen visa, US visa, these are all must. So plan accordingly. Plan accordingly. Nowadays, market you have 100% refundable options are available because while booking the tickets or package or hotel bookings, anything you can book by paying a 4% or 5% extra to that amount. So you can book 100% refundable option. Even at last moment, also also will get the 100% refundable. If you don't get the visa, if you somehow, if any reason, if you cancel your trip also, we strongly suggest please go ahead with 100% for particular these kind of destinations.
Raghu, you had mentioned Central Asia, and I want to go to Anish on that. Central Asia, as Anish Raghu was pointing out, there are hardly any restrictions there now. People are very freely moving around. Is that an attraction that is going to help Central Asia attract more tourists? I mean, many of those places are gorgeous to visit. But is there that kind of awareness among Indian travelers about these Central Asian countries? Anish, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, okay. The question is to me.
Yes, Anish.
Yeah, okay. Because see, the thing is, this in Central Asia, what we are seeing is the travelers are more confident to travel. Apart from Europeans, they are still not confident to travel. So I have seen a recent survey saying that most of the Asian country travelers, they are very much into traveling, and they are not sticking on to the pandemic pre-pandemic, still in a pre-pandemic period, and they wanted to travel more. So I think the Asian destinations are like picking up, and as he mentioned, like in Maldives and all, especially from India, there are a lot of movements happening. It's a hot destination for even for Indians. For Sri Lanka, unfortunately, because of the issues, people are hesitant to travel. I think once the but still to India, there are a lot of visa problems. For example, from UK still India is not opening the e-visa, so people are very difficult to get a visa to visit India. So the UK is a main source market for India. But still, without opening the e-visa, they can't travel. Like, they have to physically go to the embassy or the VFS center to apply for visa. From Manchester, they have to come to London, and it is not. It's a very hard time for travelers from UK to visit India. So I think if India should ease out these visa problems, there will be a great movement from UK, especially from UK to India. So I think the tour operators are demanding the government to have a online visa, which needs to be reinstated. Earlier it was there, but post pandemic they have not yet reinstated that online visa.
Yes. At that time, because of the pandemic and because of the checks that were needed, even from some of the European countries, the travelers who were coming there, the e-visa system, I think, was scrapped. Even the present visas was scrapped, and then people had to apply for fresh visas. Raghu, that's a very valid point that has been made there by Anish. This is about inbound travelers, and that some of the revenues India could get through travel and tourism could have been lost out on this. Do you think it's high time now to ease things out, considering that at least one believes we are coming out of the pandemic?
Yeah, of course. See, for Indian tourism is almost in Indian GDP, we are 11% actually pre-pandemic. We could go like post-pandemic, we can see the larger options, and it is the highest manpower and highest manpower driven industry across the world. Indians, the service across in tourism and hospitality industry, we have more than 4.5 to 5 crores employment in this industry directly or indirectly, with 11% GDP pre-pandemic, and we could be more. We could be more, and we can reach in number 1 or 2 position as soon within coming 10 years of time. So by considering all those things, we should take steps like easing, not only easing the external thing and internal things, and we need to stabilize the internal things also. Like if you say corporate airlines, some of the corporate airlines last moment cancellation, there is no rules and regulations from the government. The lakhs of millions of people are suffering due to this last time cancellation. Generally, what you say, middle class family, they book 3 months, 4 months advance, whatever that 500 rupees cheaper airlines they choose while booking the airlines. And they book other arrangements like hotel or other arrangements out there, whether it is international or domestic. That last moment, corporate airlines, they cancel before 12 hours, 24 hours. Rest of the arrangements for the travel, it is non-refundable options. Airlines, just I'm giving an example only. Airlines, these are all the things we need to strengthen ourselves actually to give that confidence, a traveler confidence. Government or authorities need to be looking to this particular. In other countries, we see when any airlines even get delay for some time, also they arrange other flights or they arrange hospitality in extreme level. So that kind of confidence, if we give it to the traveler, we can strengthen ourselves internally, and easing for inbound travel, easing. We already use so many restrictions, almost 80% of the restrictions. But concerned authority is still looking into rest of the 20% by considering other aspects, of whether it is health and other aspects. But we can see in the coming days, in a month, in October, we can see a lot many, even 99% of the things can be used for inbound travel also.
I think winters is largely the time when India would be attracting tourists, isn't it, Anish?
Come again?
Yes.
Winters would be a time which attracts more tourists to India, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, winters is the time actually for the domestic or international. That is the most of the travelers travel, family traveler or couple traveler or young generation. Everybody would like to travel in winter season. Whether it is snow, whether it is water, whether it is mountains, whether it is nature connected forests. Every travel lover, not only travel lover, everybody would like to travel in that particular winters actually. So
Okay.
we are going to witness again this winter peak overflow, particularly in India. Not only in India, we are witnessing now already with the bookings. Singapore is overflow, Dubai is overflow for October, November, December bookings. And a lot of the nearest destinations like Vietnam. First time we are seeing Vietnam, Cambodia also. Earlier we asked about Central Asia. Like if you see Central Asia, earlier was not promoting only Russians and European market only is to visit the Central Asia. But since 5 to 6 years, they're promoting aggressively for Indian market, Asian market also. Slowly in these 5 to 6 years, we are witnessing the like Baku, Azerbaijan, and whether it is Bishkek or whether it is Almaty, all the Central Asian countries are like witnessing the Indian population more. And Indian restaurants are, we are seeing the more Indian restaurants over in these markets. So these are all the destinations we are going to witness, whether it is domestic or international, other than Europe and USA. We are going to witness all this overflow. Already we are seeing the overflow of the bookings right now. The fares are going high. So always it's suggestible to book early, minimum 2 to 3 months advance, and book with 100% refundable options.
Those are some really good suggestions that Raghu you've given. First of all, to go ahead and start booking 3 months in advance, especially for visas.
Yeah, it's not only people think actually why to that's generally people why don't book business travelers or family travelers. They don't book early because they are uncertain about the plans.
That's true.
What
Yes.
will happen? Maybe I'll get a leave or not, or else kids get a leave or not, and the family conditions, health conditions. So by considering all those things, they don't pre-plan actually the plans. But today market there are 100% refundable option. I'll just give an example. Today before 3 months we are booking your tour. The air tickets and other hotel, everybody will give early bird offers. There you can save 20 to 30%. Okay, there you can by booking 4%, 4%, 5% more, you are just paying for 100% refundable option. Still you are saving 20%, right? If your plan is uncertain, even last moment also you can cancel a plan and you'll get 100% refund. But instead of doing that, if you are just doing 15 days and 10 days prior, everything will pack. Like if you're traveling to international sector, you need to hurry for the visa, you need to hurry for the you don't get the hotel option which you wanted actually. The last moment, whatever is available, you will book those things only. So still the earlier 3 months earlier, if you're getting the 20,000 ticket, before 15 days, that will go to 40,000 or 50,000, right? So that's why we say 100% refundable options are there. Go for it before 2 months, 3 months.
So I'll quickly recap some of the suggestions you made. Plan it in advance, at least 3 months in advance. Go for early bird options. You'll be able to save 20 to 30% there. So even if there are last minute cancellations, you are not going to lose out that much. And go in, most importantly, for refundable options. That is a suggestion that has been made by Raghu. Anish, I want to come to you now.
Yeah.
Are many of the travelers hesitant in going to countries where language is a problem?
Um, if you are talking about inbound, I think from everywhere people are coming to India. Like language is not a barrier because we have a lot of guides. Language speaking guides, even for Chinese speaking or Russian or Italian. Whatever language there are. Language speaking guides are there. So nowadays
Anish, if I can interrupt you, I was talking more about outbound travelers,
outbound,
Indian travelers
out
going abroad.
yeah,
Were
yeah, you,
some of the European and American destinations popular because there were no language barriers, and maybe that is the reason that some of the East European countries, as well as some of the Central Asian countries, were left out earlier.
yeah. Nowadays, even from India, you can have tour escorts with their language speaking, and they accompany with the groups, and they can easily manage. So I think for destinations, language barrier is no more an issue. So people are traveling to even non-English speaking countries also.
All right. And you are saying that there are tour escorts who will take you around. Language doesn't become a real barrier. Also, food preferences. Many of the Indians are particular about their food preferences, even during a vacation, more so. Raghu, I think you want to come in. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yours is such a valid question when it comes to families and senior citizens, and we are witnessing in this. Language is a barrier. Like when you go to Central Asian countries, Eastern Europe countries, as you said, it is actually they speak as a second language. Also, Russia, where they don't speak English actually, right? So these are all border countries, but everywhere you get guides. If you took, we suggest always to go with tour operators because the local the tour operators connect with the local guides everywhere, all these countries. So they'll explain very well, like whether it is English, Hindi, or so many tour guides. So they know the regional language of Indian language also because Indians they settled over there, all these countries. Even for the food also. Recently, just if we talk about the Baku, Baku or any other Central Asia or Eastern Europe countries, every place, every corner, every city have a minimum in tens of 10-20s of Indian restaurant, whether it is South Indian restaurant or North Indian restaurant or Punjabi restaurant, every Sindhi restaurant, every kind of food will be available. At the tour operator will connect with these kind of restaurant to give you lunch or dinner or breakfast. So food also will be no problem. Any country, where you go to any country of this Central Asia, Eastern Europe, or if it is Thailand or any country, you will get multiple options of food, and you will get a local guides. So your tour operators will coordinate with the local tour guides over there. You can speak all the languages, regional languages, English. That would not be a problem nowadays. So since technology has gone such way, and so your tour operators are there, you need to believe your tour operators instead of Googling yourself. So nowadays, you see tour operators are getting only IT people. There are 60 to 70% of their customers only hardcore IT guys.
All right. I also quickly wanted, Anish, your opinion on Bhutan because I think Bhutan is still being very cautious.
Which one?
Bhutan.
Bhutan, yeah. See, that's a destination where even they are charging for the travelers because they want to reduce the number of footfalls. They are concerned about over tourism. So I think there is a huge demand for Bhutan also. Even for so there are foreign people, they combine India and Bhutan, so there are requests for coming to India, visit Golden Triangle, and they wanted to go to Bhutan also. So those combination, even Nepal also.
All right. Okay. So I'll quickly now go to both of you. Quickly, top three destinations in your, in your opinion. Raghu, first to you. Top three destinations.
When it comes to international, top three destinations: Singapore, Dubai, Maldives,
All right.
and
Anish?
and Thailand is anytime top destination only for this thing.
Anish?
Yeah, for what I have seen with our market is like a lot of people wanted to go to Thailand and Singapore. And that's the two destinations after the pandemic. We are seeing a lot of interest.
All right.
And apart from that, domestic market, the destinations which are hill stations, so there is a huge demand.
All right. So both Anish and Raghu are suggesting that destinations within India at the moment are very popular because of the ease of traveling. Also because people are just getting into the mode of traveling after 2 years, and revenge traveling, of course. We have seen people wanting to now just leave home, get out there, go to some destination, and you just heard both of them giving their top three destination opinions there as well. Many thanks, Raghu and Anish, for joining us on this.